Good morning, everybody. Well, it is Monday morning. I actually don't know what's going on for the day. I gotta walk around and see what is going on. Little chilly today. 22 degrees Celsius, so it's like low 70s. I wore a sweatshirt last night, so that's a little weird, or I'm getting really thin blood. You know, living here for 5 months so far, I'm getting cold when it's low 70s. I'm getting too used to this place with all this wonderful weather. But anyways, let's take a look and see what's going on for the day. So right now, Lakuya Foreman is getting things together to make more stirrups because they need to add a whole lot to these columns. We got some new little gifts. This little elf truck sitting at the end here brought some really cool little gifts for these guys. They're new boards for pouring the columns. So we'll go check them out. They're supposed to make the corners a lot better instead of falling apart when they pour the cement and take them off. It crumbles a little bit and they have a little bit of problems with the holes in the sides. So this way that they made them, they're a little bit different. Last ones, they were like half-halves instead of how they did it. Actually, they look pretty good the way they did it this way. So I'm looking forward to see what happens, because before it always left a little crumbly on the edges, and the foreman was like, oh, we got to go back through and put a little bit of touch-ups on the corners. So these guys are laying out the forms for putting the hollow blocks up here on the edge. Is what they're going to do before they work the insides. Strengthen up the outside a little bit before they go on the inside and start laying everything. But they just use like 50 weights fishing line to lay all this out. It's pretty good. They don't use string, they use like fishing line, twine type deal stuff going on. Forgot to talk about the pour. It's all cured up. It looks pretty good. There's a few spots that's a little rough, but we won't see them. Those will be under hollow blocks. They're gonna finish these columns up. This is the worst one that we thought, but I would suspect not really done over here too well, because we still have to do the pour on the bathroom and get it all going here. But it's really rough, all this stuff down here in the rocks and stuff. Okay, just talk to the foreman. So they're going to add more stirrups to this, actually quite a bit more stirrups to this, all the way up to, I know this is a big column, but they gotta go up quite a ways. I know he said he got to measure it out to the base of the second floor, so I would suspect it's going to be almost to the top of the rebar here. I got news that excites me. Most of our rebar that we're getting for the second floor is supposed to be 12 meters long, and that's massive. So there will be no splicing going on for our second floor. That really makes me excited, but we'll see. We'll have to wait and see if it happens or not. So these guys are laying out this grid right here. All the little marks, like right there, they're gonna actually hook a plumb and drop it down all the way down to the ground, and that's where the corners are gonna be. All the four corners are going to be for our septic tank, and then start building from there. They're gonna do a little bit of backfilling, because down at the bottom they went a little on the wide side, and the top is a little bit more narrow. Foreman was telling me we're gonna do a little backfill once they figure everything out and put a few hollow blocks in there, and they'll work their way up and putting dirt back in behind everything. I wanted to show this a little bit. He's lowering the plumb into the corner, and him down there, he is marking, looks like a nail almost, but looks like 8mm rebar, just a little short stubby thing, so he can, that's the one corner. There's a better view of this and them doing this. It's sort of actually really hard to do right now with the wind blowing. Well, Another corner. I don't know if you can see how often this hole is. It's actually really wide down there on this side, but when you come back over to this side, it's like really narrow. The little pins that he put in are like right on the corners, and these ones have, I don't know, I would suspect 6 inches to 9 inches of rooms on the side, so that they're gonna have to do a little backfilling on here. And I think the top might be a little bit narrow too. I'm not sure. They might have to dig out a little bit of the top. And of course we see the never-ending guys that are constantly filling the bags of sand and gravel up. Always, these guys are always here, like day and night practically. As long as they're working, they're usually shoveling something in something. They're digging a hole or doing gravel, sand. So they're prepping for their next pours. They'll have a mountain of sand and gravel here by the end of the day. So these guys are once again doing some more digging down here. They're digging out the area for the hollow blocks. So a wonderful way of getting it out. And fills it back up. I guess that's one way to get the dirt out of the hole. And once again, there's Isel on her phone, doing her morning phone stuff, checking out subscribers and stuff. And then we got Ranger here. He's just hanging out. He likes those big rocks. He's toothing. He's got one tooth left to get out, but he's getting special treatment right now. He's getting rice and chicken and beef. So they are putting extra stirrups here, and they're having so much fun. I guess that's the reason why you try to do it beforehand before pouring all this stuff. But they're just strengthening things back up again. Quite interesting. Always on the bottom they reinforce it. It's going to be fun. It'll be an all-day event putting all the stirrups on. It takes a little bit trying to get these stirrups back on. Here you go. Here's the bending team for today. They are doing the 16 mm for our septic tank. Quite interesting watching them do the 16 mm. It takes 2 people to bend it with this big long bending tool. Oh, you broke it! Oh my gosh! Okay, I guess we gotta do some welding and fixing stuff. I broke it. That 16 mm is pretty heavy duty. So they got dowels in there all the way around. And it's gonna be the corners for all the hollow blocks. It's gonna be the edges off the line. So when they put the hollow blocks in, they know where they have a guide, exact guide on how to put the hollow blocks in. So they just push them up against those little pieces of rebar sticking out. It's almost lunchtime. Foreman's up there having fun. Looks like putting in the extra stirrups to get it up to our 2nd floor, the base of our 2nd floor. Looks like he's having lots of fun doing that. It's really shaky. Let's take a look at what's going on in the septic tank area. So this is as far as they got the septic tank. They got it all dug out for all the hollow blocks and the 2 chambers. They're working on getting laying out the rebar for the bottom, and then they'll get things going. Throw some sand down there after they get the hollow blocks in, at least the little bottom layer. These guys are about to make their homemade scaffolding, so they ain't doing crazy stuff like this on a tube that's just held up by these little I think, what do they call them, number 6 wire or 16 wire or something. That's what they call them. But they're gonna make a scaffolding out of this tubing right here, and right there. There's their homemade scaffolding they just made. At least it's out of metal and it's not bamboo. A little bit more sturdier, I guess. I'm not sure. Oh my goodness. Caught Isel actually doing something here besides being on her phone and cheesemizzing with the neighbors. Watering down the hollow blocks. They're really, really dry. I seen them get watered down Saturday morning. The foreman was here watering them at 7:45 a.m. They're looking like they need some water right now. Checking to see what they got going on here in this afternoon. I think they're getting their, got some gravel down. They got this crazy rebar down on the ground. They can lay a little bit of a base. 2 nails right here. This is actually, they made it for the corner of the hollow block. So they go straight down, and they're setting the corners of the hollow blocks really, really getting like perfect measurements from the top down to the bottom and getting everything aligned in here. Foreman is actually putting in these side dowels. Once they get done pouring, they'll actually bend the dowels out. They're almost actually ready to pour these columns. He's got them all set up. So you see, I still was wearing a sweatshirt. It's actually pretty nice. It's a little breezy, but I mean, I'm wearing protection. I got little sleeves on my arms so I don't get burned. I got my sun hat on. It says it's for her protection. Yeah, I don't think so. She's a little chilly, I think. I wanted to show you guys something that that they did with these forms for our columns. These pouring. So they actually color-coded each one of them so they match up, so there's no confusion. Well, that's what blue. This set over here is pink. This set is going to be just a brown, I guess that's what you call it. And that's one's like a purplish, I don't know. It's something like that. I am colorblind, so I'll probably get corrected later on about it, but that's what they did to keep them sorted out, so there's no mistakes on and issues with putting these together. So right now the guys are getting ready to, they're actually mixing the cement up right now. That's actually going to be the base for our septic tank. It's like forever ending pouring right now. There's so much going on. Don't know if you guys can actually see this. But they are doing old school level using this little tube of water. Pretty neat how this thing works. And really easy, you know, no levelers and no nothing. It's just hold it up on one end and go to the other end, and wherever the bubble's at is where the bubble's at. Here's a little trick. So for them to have these dowels poking out after they get done pouring, they're leaving these ones in, sticking out, just so they're inside the box. Once they pour and they're able to take off the box, the next morning they'll be able to remove these dowels really easy, and they show up really easy. So all they have to do is just pop them up a little bit and then throw a little patch on it. I think that's what they're going to do for these columns. These guys are in the process of setting the 16 mm rebar in here. It's actually massive for I guess our septic tank. I guess it's gonna hold together. See how well this comes together here shortly, but yeah, these are big rebar to hold the hollow blocks together in here. Watering down everything, making sure everything's all good. It made a makeshift little hook thing to lower everything down. They ain't using a string or nothing. They got a makeshift hook to make sure, yeah, to toss down the concrete. Alrighty, there's the first bucket. It's down. Like it'll go pretty quick. This little hook deal. I think they're gonna set these hollow blocks in place too after they lower it. Hollow block down, he catches it. Alright. Like the foreman right here is doing the forms. He is setting them all up and getting it all situated. We'll see how all this fits in here. I'm not sure if it's gonna be a tight fit. It looks like to me. I don't think it's gonna fit with these little brackets that he has here on the outsides. And actually, It's gonna be a little skimpy, I would think. I don't know. We'll find out what kind of fixtures that he's gonna do. He got hollow blocks being laid out. Alright, and here we go. These guys are going to shake a little bit and work the cement underneath all that rebar. And she's perfect. Well, it looks like whatever issues they were having, they got it figured out. It's like they're really squeezing the heck out of it. And these little metal pieces going in there, and then they shove another piece through the other side and it tightens it all up. Like little spikes that pulls it all together. Be interesting to see how good this thing works. Put it together. They are making everything nice and level. They're welding a pipe against another set, so it's perfectly straight up and down. First layer of hollow blocks for our septic tank is done, and now the guy right below me is laying out the second set of hollow blocks, getting all the lines set up and making sure everything is still perfect and nice and square. Christian's given lesson about how much of a gap in between the two hollow blocks there should be, so it makes it better, smoother plastering, as he explains it. I got 2 layers of hollow blocks done. There is the columns. I got a second one almost done, and they're gonna do 2 more. Alrighty everyone, this is the end of the day for me. I know these guys are working a little bit of overtime tonight. Not me. I'm gonna go home and relax a little bit. I'm supposed to be retired and not work too much, you know. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you like the video. Please comment if you want to comment. I mean, there's always open for discussions. I'm sure there's always some interesting comments. But anyways, so you can hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Hit the little bell button if you want to see more of us when we upload. Alright, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Our wonderful engineer slash contractor Christian has brought these guys a nice little toy of a basketball. So here's the framing for the basketball. They're welding it up right now. They made the basketball hoop earlier in the backboard. Over on that pole, way right there, way back over there, there's a light on it so they can enjoy themselves all night long. So we'll see how tired they are in the morning.